Happy to be joined here at the Jewish Leadership Conference in New York by Elliott Abrams. We appreciate you taking the time here. What did you make of the conference today?
I thought it was a great day. I mean, we had a lot of discussion about Israel. We had a lot of discussion about the American Jewish community. We had several people talking about the problem of campuses, of anti-Semitism on campuses and what to do about it. And it was an all-star lineup. I mean, Nikki Haley, Ben Sass, Rabbi Soloveitchik. I mean, it was a terrific day.
We heard several people here, and it's kind of been in the news lately, the concept of the October 7th Jew. And many people who weren't in touch with their Judaism before, now suddenly coming into the fold. I know you've made the case that we need to start much, much earlier in strengthening those bonds rather than waiting for tragic events like this.
I'm a little dubious about the October 7th Jew. That is, I think we saw that in '67. You know, we saw people who got very active for a month or 3 months. But look at it over time, reversion to the mean. So I think if you're worried about forming the next generation of Jews, yes, don't wait for tragedies. It's a matter of education. It's a matter of education in the family and in the school and in Israel.
In terms of, I mean, what's going on in the Middle East right now, you talk about change. Wow, an immense change just in the last couple of days. Given your experience in the diplomatic realm, I mean, what do you make of all of it, and where do we go from here?
Well, the first thing we know is people can't predict. Didn't predict the fall of the Soviet Union. Who predicted a month ago that Assad would be in Moscow in exile for the rest of his life? So let's be humble about our ability to predict the future. I do think, as Nikki Haley said today, why did this happen? Israel's defeat of Hamas and Hezbollah, particularly Hezbollah, changed the situation because by weakening Iran and Hezbollah, weakened Assad, and then his regime collapsed. And in the last few days, he turned to the Iranians, nothing. Hezbollah, nothing. Boom, it's gone. Now, of course, we have to see what kind of regime does form in Syria. But the existential threat to Israel is Iran and its cat's paw, Hezbollah. They're weaker. Iran and Hezbollah lose. There's no land route now for Iran to rebuild Hezbollah. Victory for Israel.
So what do you do now about Iran? Is it the right time? I hate to use the word strike because that entails a certain. Is this a time to make a move at this point, or is this a time to kind of let the cards shuffle into place a little bit?
I'm sure this will be a discussion first in Jerusalem in the cabinet, second between Netanyahu and Trump, and I'm sure the Israelis are thinking about that. There is a question of what is their military capacity, what do the Iranians do if they do anything in return, what is Trump's attitude? What is he telling them? And, you know, I think we're going to find out in short order. But it's got to occur to the Israelis. Is the iron hot? We strike now.
Trump had talked at least a while ago, a few months ago, about maybe making a deal with Iran, or at least trying diplomacy first. Do you think maybe Iran is more open to that at this point?
Yeah.
And is it a good option for the U.S.?
I think they're more open because they're scared. They know they've lost Hamas. They know they've lost Hezbollah. They know they are totally vulnerable to Israel. Their Russian-supplied air defenses were useless. And now they've got Trump. So I think they're very nervous. Trump in his first term did want a negotiation with Iran. He thought the Obama deal, the JCPOA, was no good. He wanted a better one, a comprehensive one. I frankly don't think the Iranians are ready, willing to do that, because the kind of changes that would be needed, like forget the proxies, forget the nuclear program, then it's not really the Islamic Republic of Iran anymore. My guess is they want to negotiate with Trump. They don't want to achieve anything. They want to string it out. They want him to say to the Israelis, don't do anything, don't attack, we're talking. So I do worry about that, about an Iranian sort of phony negotiation to kill time.
We've seen it before. We've seen them drag out those talks before.
Absolutely.
So much going on right now. I appreciate you taking whatever time you could take so we could pick your brain. Elliott Abrams of the Tickler Fund, thank you so much here from the Jewish Leadership Conference in New York.